I only wished I realized sooner just how much trouble we were in. The Wrath of Horus attacked the orbital city, knocking out the shields. Seizing the opportunity, the Nebuchadnezzar fired upon the vulnerable city, but luckily was unable to make a direct hit. So it launched fighters and bombers in preparation for its next phase of attack. The Nemesis, being the only other ship in the squadron in proximity to the orbital city, fired upon it as well, dealing a small amount of damage to the city. After launching bombers, the Helter Skelter fired on the YLD with its port weapon batteries, but the shields held. It then fired its starboard batteries as the Coastala, but missed. It then fired its lances at the Lyn Yun, missing it completely. The Barabbas launched fighters and bombers, trying to aid the rest of the fleet as best it could to get back in good standing with their lord. The Conquest fired its starboard weapon batteries at the YLD, taking down its shields. It tried to finish it off with lances, but missed. It then turned its portside weapon batteries at the Liberty, taking down our shields as well. It took its remaining lances and fired on us again, and managed to clip us with one of its lance attacks. Assessing the situation, the Conquest then fired its last weapon battery servo at the YLD, crippling it. The Red Skull, now joining the fight, attacked my Cobra vessels, taking out one of them. It then fired on the Firestorms. Thankfully their shields held, but they couldn't afford to be attacked again. Phantom then took a long-range lance shot at the YLD, but couldn't get a lock-on from such a far range. The Suanuk took a small bit of damage from the Chaos missiles that were fired previously, but the ship was in no real danger. The Nebuchadnezzar's bombers wave closed in on the orbital city. At the same time, the Barabbas bombers and fighters flew on ahead, moving into position so they could prepare for an attack, while the Helter Skelter's bombers attacked it in two waves, one at the YLD and one at the Coastala. The bombers that attacked the YLD were unable to navigate around the energy discharge left by the Helter Skelter's attack on the vessel. The ones that attacked the Coastala were unable to get past the ship's turret defenses. It was then that the Liberty got boarded by the Monitor.
Commander Striker, we are under attack.
What is happening? Give me a status.
Commander, we have been overrun. They've ripped the ship apart. Fires are breaking out all over the decks.
This is the Monitor. This planet is dead. Moving on.
All hands, abandon ship! And that was all I could do. The Liberty was nothing more but a burning hulk. All I could do was escape.
Oh, Lynu Yun, that Chaos escort has boarded us.
They stoop to such primitive means of fighting?
Oh, Lynu Yun, we can't hold them off. We were never prepared for this kind of combat.
Status report. What is going on?
Oh, they ripped the ship apart. The Lynu Yun has gone silent.
And with that final move, the Sons of Horus managed to destroy both our flagships in one swoop.
Conquest reporting. All fires have been put out. This is the Botany Bay. Engine room repaired. Turning systems back online.
Though our ships were destroyed, we were able to maintain command of our fleets through our escaped vessels, so we could at least still have command of the operations. The YLD came to a new heading, planning to come about and bring its weapons to bear on the Sons of Horus's once more. The Coastala followed the YLD's example and turned to come about. The Lynu Yun then drifted right into the asteroid field and was completely destroyed. As the Liberty drifted forward, the fires reached the plasma drive, causing it to overload. I saw the Liberty explode, sending out bursts of plasma like lance shots from its burning hulk. It took out all the firestorms with it, and one of the Cobra escorts. My forces were reduced to one last Cobra escort. The Anuk Kanas and Sa-Ro moved forward to engage the Wrath of Horus, with the Savan-Va coming in behind them. The Suanuk moved out of the dust ring as well, getting right in front of the Wrath of Horus. At this point, nothing else mattered but stopping that ship from getting into close enough range to fire its main weapon at the Doran'Por. Our final movement was the Coastala's escorts moving behind the Wrath of Horus, trapping it in a pincer move. And the Bentui's escorts moved up to meet with the main fleet. The Wyeldi and the Kostala and its escorts fired upon the Wrath of Horus, trying to take down the ship's shields. The Anuk Kanas and Saro then fired at the Wrath of Horus as well.
The shields are down! Destroy that ship!
The Suanuk fired at the now exposed Wrath of Horus, blowing apart a large portion of it.
My lord, our systems are no longer fully functional. We have lost the ability to fire the Armageddon gun.
Lu Young, that ship can no longer destroy Doran'Por. We should focus on...
I am the one in command here, Striker, not you. All ships, keep firing at the flagship.
The Savavan, under orders, then attacked the Wrath of Horus in hopes to finish it off for good, but missed. The orbital city and the security orbitals then attacked the Wrath of Horus as well. Scanners indicated that when it was all done, the Wrath of Horus would be unable to take one more hit. While the bulk of the Tau forces attacked the Wrath of Horus, my Cobra escort attacked the Conquest. But now, with it being all by itself, it was like a fly facing down against a hive tyrant. The Bentuese escorts attacked the Red Skull, missing completely. Lyn Yun ended the move by shifting bomber ships after the two remaining Exterminatus ships, while firing torpedoes and the orbital city's bombers at the Wrath of Horus.
Is the flagship still operational?
Oh, Lu Young, the flagship is still operating. We couldn't destroy it. And sadly, the Anuk Kanas and the Soro were hit by the Savanvaz torpedoes. We lost both ships.
A noble sacrifice for the greater good.
But one that was in vain, Lyn Yun. The Wrath of Horus is still operational. The Chaos Fleet reloaded their ordnance, while the Batmi Bay prepared to move all ahead forward.
My lord, the Wrath of Horus will not take much more of this. The Armageddon gun is unable to fire. We best leave and avoid losing the ship completely. You are lucky today, Xenos! All ships, close in! Do not leave the sector until the planet is destroyed! Now this Tau, and you as well, Imperial dogs! I will return! I swear it, you hear me! The galaxy will burn for the War Master!
The fleet continued their operations as the Wrath of Horus disengaged. The Batmi Bay moved ahead, just outside the gravity well of the planet. By its next move, it will be able to enter Doran'Por's atmosphere. On the other side of the sector, the Nemesis and its cruiser escorts aligned themselves for entry as well. The remaining escorts moved forward, planning an offensive against the Tau cruisers defending the outer ring of Doran'Por. The Monitor used the gravity of one of the Doran'Por's moons to help it come about. My only guess was it was planning to swing back around and hit the Wyeldi and Kostala as they made their way towards the Batmi Bay and the Nemesis. The Conquest advanced as well, but had to exercise caution. Because its shields were down, it ran a risk of taking on more damage when it came in contact with the debris from the battle. Unfortunately for us, it didn't. The Helter-Skelter proceeded forward, trying to get back in position to provide cover for the Nemesis and the Batmi Bay. The three remaining ships, the Barabbas, Red Skull, and Phantom, kept up their rear guard, moving in to pick off the straggling ships and prepare in case any reinforcements arrived. I now realized I was correct. Lyn Yun did make a mistake. Ignoring the other Exterminatus vessels gave them the time they needed to get a lead on us. They were in range to enter the atmosphere, and one ship was undamaged and had both its escort cruisers all intact.